Today, the United States Senate is preparing for a final vote on the War Powers Resolution, a move that could significantly limit President Donald Trump's authority as Commander-in-Chief. Only a simple majority is required for the resolution to pass, but the debate around it has become extremely intense. At a time when global tensions are rising and the situation in Iran is becoming more dangerous, many are questioning why Congress is attempting to restrict the president's military powers. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham has emerged as one of the strongest opponents of this resolution. According to him, the War Powers Act, originally passed in 1973, was a power grab by Congress against the Commander-in-Chief. He argues that every U.S. president since then, regardless of party, has rejected the idea that Congress can replace the president's judgment on military decisions. Graham warned that passing this resolution would effectively create a situation where there are 535 commanders-in-chief instead of one. He emphasized that there has never been a single case in U.S. history where the Supreme Court stopped a military operation simply because Congress did not approve it. In fact, more than 130 military actions have been carried out by U.S. presidents without congressional authorization. He further explained that Congress already has powerful tools if it disagrees with the president's military decisions. Lawmakers can cut off funding for any operation they oppose or, in extreme cases, pursue impeachment. However, Graham strongly believes that Congress cannot and should not act as the commander-in-chief, calling the War Powers Resolution unconstitutional and dangerous for national security. The conversation then shifted to Iran, where widespread protests have challenged the country's leadership. Senator Graham praised President Trump for openly siding with the Iranian people, saying Trump is the first U.S. president since 1979 to choose the people over the Ayatollah. He contrasted this approach with previous administrations, claiming that strong words must now be backed by meaningful action. Graham made it clear that he does not support a full-scale military invasion of Iran or boots on the ground. Instead, he called for actions that would embolden protesters, deter the Iranian regime, and send a clear message that killing citizens will not go unanswered. According to him, if U.S. action does not strengthen the protesters or weaken the regime, then it would be a mistake. One of the most controversial moments came when Graham compared Iran's supreme leader to a modern-day dictator, accusing the regime of brutal repression. He claimed that if the Iranian leadership continues to kill its own people, it should face severe consequences. Graham argued that the fall of the Ayatollah would mark one of the greatest positive changes in Middle Eastern history, potentially ending state-sponsored terrorism and reshaping regional alliances. He suggested that if the regime collapses, groups like Hezbollah and Hamas would lose power, then peace between Israel and Saudi Arabia could become possible. On the other hand, if the Ayatollah remains in power, Graham warned it would lead to long-term instability and disaster across the Middle East. This debate highlights a deeper conflict within U.S. politics, the balance of power between Congress and the president, and how America should respond to global crises. As the Senate prepares to vote, the outcome could have lasting consequences not only for U.S. foreign policy, but for the future of the Middle East as well. The question now remains, should Congress limit the president's authority during dangerous global moments, or should the commander-in-chief retain full control to act swiftly? Share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more in-depth political analysis and breaking news.